to get inside this very quickly, or he will die, because I have an advantage of time. It takes me less to get to him than it takes for him to get to me. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. So the first step for me, I know this guy charges me. I understand what's going to happen. He thinks that he must get by me. My first step is to take a step back. I want to gain time against this individual. Okay? I want him to have to cross more space to get to me. But, natural question, does that mean it's going to encourage him to charge me even more? Yeah, probably. However, he's going to do it anyway. And I need to be as safe as possible as well. So now, instead of fighting the charging guy here, I need to take an extra step to get to me. Okay? Go ahead and take the first step. Boom. That was a good step. Go back to the first step to charge. Run it. Yeah. Boom. Look what happened. I squared up. He squared up. That is the first moment that you have to kill the charging bull. When their body squares to you, it opens up this beautiful, huge target. People who are good at this know how to take that very, very quickly, that first step. Okay, does that make sense? But they still have it. They still have that moment. And if you can do it, if you can pull that trigger when that foot comes forward, boom, he's dead. Okay? That is the first moment when their foot comes forward. Why is that? Because he took a tempo when he was in measure. He brought his body into harm's way, into my place where I could stab him. Does that make sense? And he did it in a fashion that didn't defend his life. He basically walked on the diameter that we pointed out earlier, didn't he? He stepped right into the lethal line. Boom. Now that's very simplified. No one's going to just walk into the sword. They're going to try to clear your weapon, right? But like I said earlier, every single time you do something in measure where you can be struck, it's an opportunity for you to be killed. Okay? So we are on guard, and I have stepped back, okay, like I was told, and I'm on my guard, and he needs to get this out of the way, doesn't he? So we can run down that line. When he does, he's dead. Okay? And it is but a little motion compared to his broad motion that lets me do that successfully. Think about the time he spends going from this point to this point in space. That is much longer than the time I spend going from this point to this point. Would everyone agree? I'm faster than him. I'm not actually faster than Michael St. Christian, not by a long sight, but I am very efficient with my movements, and it saves me time. Does that make sense to everybody? So, rule number one, charging goal, step back, go, right? Rule number two, take the tempo they give you. If he comes in to clear my blade, take the tempo they give you. You cannot just take it. It has to be a threat. If he goes to clear it, and all I do is this, it's not enough, because what's about to happen? I'm dead. Not only do I have to take the tempo, go ahead, I got to close that line again. Does everybody see what I did? Okay, go back. He came in and moved. I disengage and turn my true edge towards his weapon. Now I have the line closed and he's a dead man.
Michael's sword is closer to the camera,
hit the brakes,
stage.
and get the hell out of Dodge and maybe rethink what he's about to do. Does that make sense to everybody? So, step back, that's step one, right? Step two is to take the tempo. What if I fail? What if I fail to take the tempo and he beats my weapon, okay? And he gets my weapon out of the way. What option do I have? So go ahead and beat. Step in. Boom. I'm in a lot of trouble, okay? My first thing I need is time. I need time to work. How am I going to get it? Step away. Step away or step back. Okay. So, but I don't have to step yet. I don't have to step back. I need to gain tempo, and I can do that just with the lean of my body. You see? Okay? And I can reclaim the line. Does that make sense to everyone? I don't even have to step yet. You're going to find out there are a series of choices we can make to deal with this. So, I stepped back. He came on guard. He beats my sword. Boom. Okay? And I leaned my body back and stuck my butt out. What's this look like? It's an old dead Italian guy. But it works. Alright? Here, knuckles out. Close the line. And this works just fine. Now, let's say I fail at that. Okay? I'm in trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble, but I'm not out of options. He goes to beat, he hits it. I lower, he closes the line again, I step away from the line, and into my match. Alright, now it's going to take him time to reorient himself towards me. Does that make sense to everybody? And in that time, what can I do? I can hit him, right? Anything he does while he's in my measure is an opportunity to hit him. Let's get back. There is let's put our swords down. I took several years ago. I took a 2-day seminar with Maestro Ramon Martinez, and he was teaching Destreza. It's in Chicago. It was great, but probably the biggest piece that I took from that, in addition to all the wonderful information that he sold us, that's the wrong word, that he told us, was this one phrase he said, and I had a hard time hearing him because he's got a pretty heavy accent. He said, "It's like a ball and a stick." So what? He said, "It's like a ball and a stick." It's like a ball and a stick. What do you mean? Well, he said if a stick and a ball are in a fight, and the stick wins by poking the ball across the room, and the ball doesn't want to be poked like that, it rolls around the stick. Does that make sense? If you hit the center of it, it goes the way the stick wants it to go. But if the ball rolls, it doesn't. So what that amounts to, I want you to push through the shoulder, is if I let him push me, just go ahead and push, I'm not, both hands, push on my chest. I'm not winning anything at this point. He has the advantage. His force is manipulating my body. I want to take this force and I want to put it over here. Okay? I want this momentum to come to me and then to be redirected. Okay? So what's going to happen? He's going to reach out and it gets redirected. Does that make sense? Yes. That's exactly what it is. And I don't claim to be an expert on that particular martial art, but I've studied it. If he comes to me and someone wants to go that way, I say left. Go ahead. Boom. Okay? Let the man go. If he wants to be over there, by all means. How does that translate into sword play? First, I have to be wary that I keep a relatively upright stance. If I am very low to the ground, it is very difficult to move like this. Okay? Keep a decently upright stance. Okay? When he begins his momentum, I simply allow it to come to me, and I step inside of it. So I want you to take a nice passive image towards me. Okay? So lunge and take a passive step. Okay? And boom, boom. It is the same principle. Okay? He steps to me, and I step around him. Okay? If I can't, Spanish circle of death. I can do that to one side or the other. It doesn't matter. If he comes and I sense his momentum coming this way, I can roll him this way too and step to the inside. Okay? And if he continues to push, I can simply continue to hit the ball. And, elbow in the face on the way by. Okay, don't do that. But you'll be tempted. However, what I've done is forced him to make a mistake. Right? And the mistake he gave me was putting everything he had in one direction. Okay? Does that make sense? There are people out there who are very good at charging and can quick step in circles. Okay? They can follow you as they go. Those people, and she's one of them, must be killed in that first line I showed you. Does that make sense? You have to kill them as they approach, when they give you that tempo. Alright. Wonderful. The Italians are great. They were sneaky and rather brilliant about swordplay. And they're where most of my information about tempo comes from. But they have some rules about when is a good time to hit someone, and people who charge give you these moments frequently. On guard. So the first moment is when my opponent brings his point offline. Okay? So let's say he's going to beat. He brings his points offline to beat. That's the first time to stab him, right? That's a great time. They also say when my opponent lifts his foot and sets it down with your foot, that's a great time to stab because he's not going anywhere, right? And the next thing is when my opponent makes a broad motion of his sword, it's a great time to stab, just like I showed you before. Does that make sense to everybody? The charging person will do all of those things because what they're doing is they're saying, I have to get the sword out of the way and then I have to give him many steps on the line to hit. Right? I have opportunity, 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 opportunity. Here's the reaction that never works for me. Here's the reaction that never works for me, because I'm not fast enough. He charges, and I run backwards until I can hit him in the face. That is the typical reaction to that, and it works for some people. I dare any of you to charge Gage. I dare you. Because he'll plunk you in the face, and that'll be the end of it. But I can't do that. I can't run backwards like that. I have to use these principles to beat somebody who rushes me. Okay? On guard. So he comes, and he's here, and I'm already retreating my butt, and I'm on the line. At least I'm alive, right?